Yo guys, what's good? Hope you're all well. It's a very sunny evening today. Sunny evening, sunny daytime. Day even today. Hope you guys get some sun in your eyes and be outside for a little piece. But anyways, today I kind of wanted to talk about the question of why in this world. Because for me, I have always been extremely interested in the why. So instead of just trying to understand, comprehend what something is, how something happens, but also why something happens, to me is the most interesting part of it. Because to me, if I'm interested in a particular thing, the why is always the most, it always has the most depth to it, and in my opinion it gives you the most insight into actually understanding the concept itself, and even understanding the real underlying kind of sentiment or reason to the thing in question. So for instance, for me, like for instance, I have bad digestive problems, for instance, and I've had these problems since I was a little kid. I used to get really bad stomach aches, and I still used to eat good food. I was still healthy. You know, all things pointed to being a healthy kid, but I still seem to get these terrible stomach pains. And that's kind of followed me up until now. Like I still sometimes experience bad stomach problems. I'm bloated quite a lot of the time. I sometimes burp when I shouldn't really be burping, just for no reason. And like, these are little things that I've kind of put up with, but that's beside the point. More the point is, so now for me, I've got to that point where I'm like, okay, cool, let me try to understand why these things are happening. So now I've kind of taken that into my own hands at this age of 28 now. I've now got a consultation with an expert in the field tomorrow, like a Zoom call, to really dissect the situation, or my personal situation anyway, and figure out the why. I'm sure we'll do a bunch of tests and a bunch of questions, X, Y, Z, but yeah, like that's just like a small example of kind of what I mean by the why, and why I'm so interested in it. But also, you know, to try and maybe instill that somehow into the way you think about certain things. Maybe like, I don't know, if something's really, you know, irritating you or affecting you in a way that you don't like, then you know it's worth asking yourself a good few questions about really truly why these things are happening. So I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and he was explaining about why he was feeling quite down and a bit depressed at the moment. And I asked him, okay, like what, like why do you think that is? And he gave me quite a surface level answer that I was just like, okay, cool, but why is that the case? And then he was like, he gave me another answer that was like still a bit surface level, but a little bit deeper. And I was like, okay, cool, but why do you think that is? And then he started to kind of like unpeel the layers, almost like an onion, like, and like get to that core of, okay, cool, like this is like the underlying thing as to why I am feeling this way. And then to him, you know, then I was even able to then actually understand, and like try and help in any way I could, just to like to navigate that problem for him. But I, like, even I couldn't understand from that, you know, that initial surface level answer. So, and I do sometimes think, I was kind of thinking at the time as well, I was thinking, okay, cool, like is what is the reason as to why he's being so vague. And I feel like sometimes with certain people it might be because they don't necessarily truly want to accept that core reason as to why, and maybe they're not ready to actually confront that reason. So it's kind of one of those things where you're like, cool, like, if this thing is on my mind enough to make me ask these questions, do I want to get out of that? Do I want to stop thinking about this thing? Do I want to stop feeling this way? And if so, really to, like, unpack the underlying reason or reasons for that certain thing. And I feel like we're all guilty of lying to ourselves, and that is like one of the, I don't know, it's just it seems like a very big disservice to yourself as well as others, in a way, to lie to yourself and to not be honest with yourself, because then what? So then you're thinking of yourself as almost like a liar to within yourself. That's just gonna create more bad energies within yourself. So first things first is to really be honest with yourself, and then start to go a little bit deeper and really understand certain things, because generally I'm quite a curious guy, and maybe I've just been blessed with that as a trait of mine. But I don't know, there's a lot of people that I do notice that they either don't want to focus on it, or they're not too bothered, they're not too fast, which is, like, all power to them. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you do feel like within yourself you're ready to confront that why, I feel like it is just super, super important that you're going a layer deeper, a layer deeper to the core of something. And then that core can often domino into so many other things. So it's like, once you've found that core, what you're working towards, which is super, super important. It's just more awareness to yourself, which I just think is so important. But yeah, that was kind of some thoughts that were running through my head today, and I hope that helps anyone in any way possible. And yeah, hit me up if you want to chat. I'm really an open book when it comes to this kind of stuff. So yeah, man, let me know.